VVS Protect all in my wristwatch. Got it jumping like I'm crisscross. She gon' bring her girl, let them crisscross. Dripping water, I forgot to turn my wrist off. I let go, yeah, let them crisscross.
Hey, what's up, guys? Barry Robinson, 8 Million Styles Boxing. Today we're going to take a look at heavyweight prospect Andy Ruiz and different ways to control speed. Before we get into this, of course, make sure you guys visit our YouTube channel and check out some of our latest playlists, like Current Heavyweights Film Study, where we take the time to break down Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury, and more. Before we start this, I just want to let you know, Andy Ruiz, this is nothing personal against you, because a lot of the things I'm going to say is about a guy controlling you in sparring. But obviously, I have no ill will towards you. You have really fast hands. You're an unbelievable fighter. However, I want to show how speed might be controlled. And Marcellus Williams, shout out to Marcellus Williams and also Dante's Boxing Nation. Thank you for providing this type of footage for fans across the world. And I just want to show you guys how Marcellus did a great job of limiting Andy Ruiz's punch count. And you know, Andy Ruiz is a very fast guy and can let combinations go with the best of them, especially as a heavyweight. That is a dangerous, scary proposition. But let's take a look at how Marcellus Williams slows the fight down, slows his punch count down, and limits how many punches he has to defend, and vice versa, how many punches Andy Ruiz throws, just by making him think a bit. So in the beginning, I know you guys are going to be like, man, Barry, you call the stupidest stuff. But listen, small things, all things. I love how Marcellus starts this round, and here he is. He says, this is a guard. I know he's pushing up his headgear, but you'll get to see that Marcellus loves a lot of hand play. So this is a guard. Okay, my hands are here. Let me go ahead and sit. Now, mind you, when Marcellus is doing all that, look at the amount of space that he creates. And Andy Ruiz is not doing nothing. I know you say to me, well, Barry, the round just started. Well, let's continue and see where it goes from there. And then from there, beautiful stuff. You know, again, people, as a heavyweight, I learned is coming up, you got to throw the jab, and all this stuff. But you got to love Marcellus Williams. He said, yeah, I got to throw the jab, but I also got to control his lead hand, because, again, I've said in other videos, you know, every gym teaches the same thing. You start with your lead hand, you finish up with power, whether that's a left hook, uppercut, a right hand. Obviously, the most obvious, the straight right hand. You got to love this picture. Actually, I'm going to take a screenshot while I'm doing this, just for my Facebook channel a little bit later. You got to love a picture like this. This is beautiful. You talk about controller's fun 101. Anyway, let's continue to watch. Beautiful. Okay, let's break down that whole sequence. So here you have Marcellus. This is one guard. He's lifting his headgear up, whatever you want to call it. Dumb it down if you choose. So I'm going to go with he's showing him different things. Then from here he sits. Okay, while he has to do that, Andy Ruiz has to wait and look at him because he's in control. Now from here, he's going to go control his arm while stepping over to his right. Now from here, he's going to, Andy Ruiz starts to step forward. You know, that's a great thing for Andy, because Andy needs to get there. And Marcellus says, you know, slow down, slow your roll, homie. I'm going to go ahead and control your hand one more time. We're not talking about punches here. We're still talking about just controlling the guy's hands. And then from there, not only does he do that, but, you know, we're talking about operating at a really high level in sparring, say what you want. And then here he sits while taking a step to the right at the same time and completely change the angle. What do I mean by that? Well, his back is here, folks. When he does that, now his back is here. He's effectively changed angle with the glove control. So it's so funny because, you know, I said this in my last video, everybody wants to imitate stuff, but you talk about a lot of drills in here, being able to take a step with balance. Look at the balance. Look at his torso down. Anyway, let's continue to watch. This is, forgive me, people, I'm trying not to praise Marcellus Williams in this video, and I'm trying not to bash Andy Ruiz. I want to talk about different ways to control a guy with fast hands. So if I get excited about boxing technique, forgive me, it's unbelievable to see stuff like this. Then we talk about him going from stepping over to the right and then control his hand. And then what does he do? Take the right hand away from the guy just by lifting his glove up. He says, it's there. No, it's not there. Okay? And mind you, Andy Ruiz wants to get there, but he has to wait. Now, how do we know Andy Ruiz is trying to get there? Now, as Andy Ruiz throws a jab to his lead hand, as Marcellus drew him in to do, You talk about control is fun. Drew him into. Now from here, Andy Ruiz, he's so fast, man. He's a fast guy. Look at Andy Ruiz do a great thing here. Watch him step offline with his feet, and get that jab, and he's fast. And Marcellus does a horrible job. He doesn't catch the jab, right? But understand where having great technique can save you, because look at that picture right there. There's a lot of space. Just that small thing of putting his glove between him and his opponent saved his life from a heavy right hand right here. How do we know that? Because Andy Ruiz have to start from really far out now. So he lands one jab, but now Marcellus is onto his game. He says, let me lean over to my right while slipping a jab, step off of my left foot, appropriate, and then I'm stepping around and ready to go. And when I reset myself, I'm resetting with a shitload of distance. Excuse my language, boys and girls. Let's continue to watch. This is just unbelievable stuff. Here's another situation. Let's go back because he got touched with a jab there. I don't want to miss that. So here's a situation where, understand with Andy Ruiz, you messing with a guy with really fast hands. So if you throw a lazy jab or a jab with no super good purpose, or you don't really get offline with that jab, you're going to eat something back. But because of Marcellus, look what he does here. He's not, listen, I always say this, at a high level, at a very manual level, we're taught to throw a punch and bring it back to guard, right? And sometimes you're not going to get it back to guard. You're in front of a really fucking fast guy. So what does Marcellus do here? He says, okay, let me leave my glove out there and limit the guy to one punch at a time. So understand the Joseph Parkers of the world, the Joshua's, the Wild. You got to limit Andy Ruiz to one punch, because if you're defending 4, 5, 6 punch combinations, you think about Gennady Golovkin versus Kell Brook. If you have to defend a 4, 5, 6 punch combination, it's really no good for you. Now, off of that, not only does Marcellus Troy, he said, let me get low here, jab his lead hand, and now I'm going to press the attack a little bit, right? But look at his shoulders. So now he's still in this guard, and I'm going to show you why I bring that up. Now, he's in this guard active. What I mean by active, let's check this out. So here in this situation, you're going to see Marcellus lift his right glove up and says, he's not even, look, understand, people. I don't know how do I explain this so beginners and new boxing fans can understand? Something's there, but nothing's there. But and you'll see how this comes into play later. But Marcellus is saying, hey, look, something's here, but it's not here. But you might want to do it, but you don't want to do it. It's just, oh man, psychological. Anyway, so here he's still in his high guard, and here he shoots a jab, and again you see Andrew Ruiz's hand speed, right? In this situation, Andrew Ruiz in a favorite position. He said, oh, barbecue chicken, right? Gets Marcellus with a good jab, but from here, watch, understand. Sometimes you talk about footwork, like sometimes you can move your feet, but in this case, Marcellus got caught, so he couldn't move his feet. And in this situation, he says, okay, let me control him, forearm, glove. Oh my God, people. I'm sorry, I have to pause for a second. Forgive me, I'm having a mini boxing orgasm. I want to show you guys something. Let me see if I can find this video. And I'm going to show you why I get excited about these things. Hopefully this doesn't take long and you guys don't get annoyed with me watching my own film during film. As somebody, I don't know why I worry about what you people think, but apparently you have a lot of power on YouTube with your trolling. Internet slow. I want to show you guys this, but hopefully it pops up soon. And it does. I want to show you guys something. I know you're going to say, hey, Barry, this is a little guy right here, but I want to show you guys just working on different techniques. And okay, I believe this is it here. Forgive me. Let me drop the resolution on this. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. Sorry, I'm in Oman, in Muscat, Oman, the Middle East. It's pretty lame. Okay, so here's a situation I wanted to show you guys. So here's a situation where I have a world-class fighter, Sitthichai Sitsongpanong, one of the best in the world. We engage into a clinch, or he gets close to me. And I want to show him as a student that, hey, in this position, in this situation, your arm's in a good situation, but you want to advance the drill. So I'm gonna slow the drill down, because on the pads we've been working it over and over again. So I want him to move his left arm And you're going to see me move my head for him so he can understand that in this situation, you advance the drill. In this situation, I said, move my head over, and you should be punching from there. So now let's get back to this film study. Forgive me. Thanks for your patience, people. Thanks for your patience. I see this is going to be one of my longer film studies because there's so much going on. So here in a situation where Andy Ruiz gets a favorable position, he gets close. Watch Marcellus say, okay, let me get my lead hand in between me and my opponent. Let me control his head, and I'm going to try to sweep a right hand off the middle. And in that particular situation, that saved him from getting hit with "Oh Lord, have mercy" and barbecue chicken. Now, what you got to love that Marcellus does right away, it's not because he's in this guard. People say, like, Philly shell. Come on, stop it. Stop with the name calling of, come on, stop. So he switches his guard. And in this particular guard, you see him super sideways. What do I mean by that? Let's check out Andy Ruiz's posture. It's a little bit square, nothing wrong with that. He's looking to be aggressive, right? You have different guards for different times, different moments. But Marcellus chooses right away to elect to go to a guard where he has his shoulder in front of him, and he's going to use his right hand and his shoulder as a timing mechanism. What do I mean by that? So here you're going to see him show his shoulder. And basically, Andrew Ruiz has to, let me show you what happens right here. Watch this, it's beautiful, so beautiful. Andrew Ruiz has to immediately back up because, whoa, danger zone. And Marcellus, being a psychological guy he is, says, okay, let me catch a hook, even though no hook was thrown. So the opponent, not saying Ruiz is doing this, but the opponent has to go, I didn't even throw a punch. What's wrong with this guy? Anyway, so let's continue to watch. And then from there, when Ruiz has to start once again, look how far away he has to start from. And when he does start, now Marcel's in a situation, says, oh, okay, let me control this guy's head and throw a straight right hand up the middle. Now, understand, people, when you think about Joseph Parker fighting Ruiz, Joseph Parker have a little bit more pop in his hand, so he can be patient and get away from just throwing heavy punches. He could think a little bit. It might be smart for him to go to Vegas and get a lot of work with Marcellus Williams. And even though Marcellus is not a coach, you better ask Marcellus Williams some questions about control because the kid obviously knows what he's doing. I know some of you guys are going to be mean in the comment section. Who is Marcellus Williams? Jim, stop it. We're talking about boxing technique, and he's doing an unbelievable job at boxing technique right now. Let's continue to watch. Oh, man. Oh, man, people understand. So remember at the beginning of this film study, I said, listen, you got to limit Ruiz to one punch at a time. So here you're going to see Marcellus lean over to the left, give Ruiz a look. Ruiz is faking the jab up top to shoot it low, right? Even when he does that, look at Marcellus Williams get both hands, one hand on Ruiz's shoulder, his right hand on Ruiz's arm, and control him. Now from there, Ruiz has to stop. And when he stops, he has to create a lot of space. Now let's check this out. From here, Marcellus once again playing around with his guards. So check this out. Imagine Ruiz throwing the right hand, but he's not throwing the right hand, but Marcellus is defending against the right hand anyway. It's insane. It's just beautiful to watch. Anyway, so here in the situation now, Ruiz wants to start to the body again. Marcellus says, okay, I'm going to control that big fella. Now, in this situation, Marcellus could have took a full step back, but he says, okay, I could control his glove, so let me just take my back foot and lean it back a little bit, and I can keep my range here in case I want to counterpunch. Now, when he does that, Ruiz has to stop. He has to think how he's going to think in the scenario. He's going to wave his glove up and down and up. He's going to move backwards, and then he's going to eventually take a walk because he realizes nothing is there. Let's watch that fast. Control that, stop. And Ruiz has to stop, take a walk, and start over. That is how you limit a guy's punch output. Unbelievable stuff from Marcellus Williams. Let's continue to watch this. Now you're in a situation where you've put in all that great work. Guess what happens now? When he does go to start offense, and you know, if he touches my shoulder, you talk about the timing of the shoulder. You listen to Virgil Hunter, people. Don't be biased in this sport, man. You can learn so much. So you think about pad work and different things. You think about this guard. You see Ruiz has no choice but to attack the shoulder. And when he does attack the shoulder, that is Marcellus's timing mechanism. Joseph Parker, your people, listen, go find Marcellus Williams. I don't care if he's not a big pro or whatever, and you better get some work with him. More work than you guys have done already. And now here Marcellus just goes into, this is another beautiful scenario. You talk about slowing a guy down. So here's a situation where Marcellus says, okay, Ruiz, sorry, let me get back here a little bit. So Ruiz wants to start offense, right? Doing all this beautiful feigning, but he knows he has to attack the shoulder now, right? So now in this situation, he digs down deep, showing he's going to counter, but now he says, okay, let me go ahead and control your jab. So you don't throw. Look, unbelievable. This is Ali right here. This is Muhammad Ali, George Foreman. So before Ruiz even throws a jab, check this out. Check this out. So before Ruiz throws a jab, Marcellus controls the jab. Then when Ruiz wants to throw it, he can't throw it because Marcellus is controlling it, right? Correct? Now, look at the space in between them. And Marcellus says, we're going to fight when I want to fight. Now I'm going to take a walk. Let me put those two clips together so you guys can understand and see that in full. Okay. So let me control his arm. Put something to control his glove. I'm going to control his jab again, counter him, right? Now that I got his attention, got a lot of space, now I'm going to control his jab. He wants to jab, he can't jab. And then I'm going to take a walk, and we'll fight when I want to fight. And what does Ruiz do? Ruiz is being controlled so much. No offense, Andy Ruiz. I love you, bro. I got to call this as I see it. He has to stop and start over. Let's continue to watch. Oh my goodness, Marcellus' system's operational right now with this work. So I'll just try to, I won't talk about this too long. Let's try to get through this here. So you're going to see Marcellus, for no reason, control Ruiz's lead hand, right? And not only does he control his lead hand, he go ahead and sits to his right. Give him a different look, a lot of space, right? Understand why he keeps saying this, people, because when he's doing all of that, Ruiz is doing nothing. Ruiz is a fast-handed heavyweight with combination punching. So if you can limit his punch count, you're doing a really great thing. So here's a situation again where Ruiz wants to start, but he realized he's attacking the shoulder, and then from there, he says, okay, let me control the guy's glove again. He has to start over. And then Ruiz sticks a jab. Let's see where he goes from there. Now, Ruiz wants to start again, but let's see Marcellus starts to give him different looks. So he leans over to the right, controls his jab, throws a jab, which he doesn't even intend to land. Just, hey, he says, look at this, buddy, stops him. Now Ruiz wants to start again. He has to start from far away once again. And then when he goes to shoot a jab, he's getting controlled. So he has to stop at one punch. And then from here, we'll offer this ridiculous rhythm that Marcellus is giving him. He says, Marcellus, okay, now I want to fight. And then throws the right hand. Let's watch some of that all sequence together. So we some control. So start over. Everything's relaxed, right? Chill. Now I'm gonna fight you a bit, bro, but I'm gonna control you at my pace. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden, I'm gonna control your jab, and then out of nowhere, I'm gonna put a double jab, right hand together. Boom. Now here's your problem with Ruiz. Ruiz is a good counter puncher. So even though he gets clipped with a right hand, he's throwing a right hand of his own. But he's limited to one punch. Why? Because Marcellus was doing what he wanted to do and not what Ruiz wanted him to do. Let's continue to watch. Now, here's a beautiful adjustment from Marcellus Williams. So after that counter right hand, check this out. This is actually really cool. After this counter right hand where Marcellus is not offline, he's kind of right in front of Ruiz. He has a moment of truth. He says, you know what? I need to be walking my ass to the right and get away from his right hand. So what does he do right away? Watch the adjustment. So Ruiz lands another right hand to the body, and Marcellus says, you know what? He says, you know what? That's two punches. He only supposed to be getting one. And so let me walk my ass to the right where I belong in this particular scenario, just to switch things up and just to change the game. And with that, he goes with glove control. And not only glove control, but because he took the time to control his glove, show him different things. Now he can, again, Ruiz has to start from way out here, and now he can slip jabs from the outside while stepping over to the right. Can't get hit with the right hand. And then, just for good measure, he says, look, I said, motherfucker, sorry, listen, Andy Ruiz, I love you, bro. I love you, bro, but forgive me, I'm not talking to you. But he says, look, motherfucker, I'm walking to the right here while swimming to my right. Let's continue to watch. Marcellus is a funny guy. And then understand, people. Sure, can you do the same thing all round all fight? No, you can't. So here in this situation, here is Marcellus throwing a right hand, throwing a right hand at Ortiz's. I'm sorry, at Ruiz's left hand, just to occupy it. When he does that, look at the space it creates. Ruiz has to start over. Now Marcellus really goes into just matrix mode here. Check this out. We're not even talking about punches being landed. So if you look at a scenario like this, check this out. So he throws a right hand at his lead hand. He gets hit with a double jab. Beautiful work, right? But off of that jab, he says, no right hands coming after that. I'm going to control your glove. Let me create some distance. Now from here, he says, let me throw my hook to create some space. And in case Ruiz gets cheeky here, I'm going to take a step back, and I'm not going to throw a right hand to hurt him. I'm going to just show it to him and say, hey, bro, you're not punching now. You're done. Check this out. You're done. We fight when I want to fight. Beautiful work. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. It's so funny because we were just talking about this Kell Brook GGG fight, and you talk about the skills that a welterweight should have. You're seeing them right now. Let's continue to watch. Here's a situation where Marcellus just, understand what happens here. So he's doing all these great things, controlling Ruiz, and Ruiz he doesn't know what's going on because he knows how to box. But in this particular scenario, he's like, what the fuck is going on right now? So he has to take a walk. And now, guess what? You have him doing something that's not favorable for him. Not saying he can't counterpunch, but now Marcellus is in full control. Not only does Marcellus in full control, but watch Marcellus really take it to another level. He says, okay, let me cut the ring off on you and get you defensive. And I'm going to give you different looks and act like I'm backing you down, which he is, but he's not really committed to it because you can see he's not really throwing full punches, right? But what he is doing, he's occupying Wall Street. Chill, cut it out. Understand, people, you can't be throwing combinations at Ruiz. So watch how Marcellus controls. He says, okay, look at this uppercut. Slow down. He says, okay, I'm going to control your jab and show you a right hand, but I'm not going to really throw it. Slow down. Then I'm going to throw a jab on top of that. Slow down. Then he says, I'm going to lean over to my right and get you to lean with me. Look, watch him. Lean over to right, lean with me. He says, I'm going to jab you to the body, occupy you, get you covered up, right? And then he says, okay, from here, I'm going to take away your right hand, even though you're thinking about throwing it. I'm 50 steps ahead of you. You don't even think about it. Okay, from here, he's going to control his jab. And then all of that just to control his hook, take his hook away from him. And then from here, control his jab again, switch to a nice Dutch technique, and throw a right hand. And trust me, when Marcellus Williams gets in great shape and he feels better about his conditioning, he's going to throw a punch like that for power. You know that Joseph Parker can. It's just he has to learn these other skills before throwing a punch. Understand that. Very important. And then off of that, Marcellus doesn't really want to commit to his punches. He knows how fast Ruiz. He says, let me control his glove and show him an uppercut. I'm not going to really throw it to hurt him. I just want to put something in between him and I so he don't get too comfortable. And how do I know I ain't talking shit to you guys? Watch, let's check this out. Let's check this whole sequence out, right? He says, okay, I'm going to control you, show you the right hand. He says, check it out. I'm going to control you, show you the right hand. Again, throw it, but not so much commitment. I'm going to even throw it while I'm going backwards because I really don't want to commit to it. I don't want what's coming back, right? Then he's going to control him, show him the uppercut again, right? Then he's going to control him, sit, and control him, and show him the right hook, but not really no intentions to throw it, right? Let's continue to watch. This is Occupy Wall Street 101. Beautiful work for Marcellus Williams. Now, here's a situation where Marcellus makes his first mistake, right? So we talk about 3 seconds is enough. You know, you want to always change every 3 seconds. So here's a situation where Marcellus says, okay, he's pressing attack. You know, he's playing with a snake. And here's a situation where, again, like the beginning round, he puts out a weak jab, or a jab with not really much intent. And of course, Ruiz is fast, was super fast. You see the fast hands to counter that jab. Now from here, Ruiz says, oh shit, I finally got an opportunity. Look at this space. Look at the space now. Ruiz loves this space. This is a great distance for him. So from here, he controls Marcellus's lead hand, lead arm, and uses that. Look at this work from Ruiz. Control his lead hand just to switch that to a body shot, left hook to the body, which Marcellus doing a great job of turning his body on and trying to control him and using his lead hand here. But that's a great, comfortable position for Ruiz. Let's see how Marcellus adjusts. So here's a situation where Marcellus says, you know what, this is not the business right here. So let me throw something but use it to control him. He's going to smother me. Great job from Ruiz. But I have my arm in between me and my opponent. Let me control his face. And even though Ruiz is working here, that's a good position for Ruiz to be working from because he can't hurt you from there. In which Ruiz knows that. So Ruiz has to separate and start over. I didn't think this film study was going to be this long, guys, but this is the science right here. So Marcellus, once again, doing a great job moving his torso, giving him different looks. And more importantly, understand, yes, Ruiz can fight off the back foot, as my friends from the UK say, but Marcellus is in control. And when he's in control, that means Ruiz is thinking. Guess what he's not doing? He's not throwing 10-punch combinations, 5, 6-punch combinations at you and putting you in jeopardy with 8-ounce gloves on or 10-ounce, whatever they're fighting these days as heavyweights. This is just unbelievable work. And that's time for that round. Now I want to go over one more scenario for this particular film study, and then we're done. Let's try to watch this whole clip here. And we're gonna try. Look at so actually, sorry, I'm just died. Good Lord. I'm gonna call it as I see it. So Marcellus once again playing with his hand position, V technique. Okay. Guys, let me just give you a quick reference. If you want to look up V technique on my page, you'll have some reference there so you can understand what's happening. So if I was to go V technique, I press the letter V. There it is. I made a video, I think almost 8, 9 years ago now. V technique. Anyway, let's continue to watch. So Marcellus Williams playing with his hand position, controlling the guy, take a step back, drop his guard, change guards on the guy. Let's see where he goes from there. I know I cut this clip up for a reason. Beautiful work from Marcellus. And he can just, man, unbelievable work from Marcellus. Just different looks, doing it different ways. Oh, this is where I got excited at. Okay. So understand how he slows Ruiz offense down here. So you see Marcellus here, posture to his left, posture to his right, control the guy's glove, step over to the right with the roll, and then here he takes a punch away, controls his glove. Now from here, he's going to control his glove while showing him a right hook, overhand right? Showing him an overhand right, not throwing a punch, just showing him a punch, right? Look at this. Now from here, controls his jab again. Now, by the time Ruiz goes to get started, he has to start from far away again, right? Now, Ruiz decides to change the game and says, okay, I started. He says, look, I'm starting. No, I'm not starting. Okay, I'm starting again. But when he starts, look at the space. Look at the space. And by the time with all that space, if you check this punch out, it doesn't land flush. The reason why is because Marcellus is in control. And we all know, and also Marcellus is able to see that punch, and we all know it's the punches that you don't see that hurt you the most. So the moral of the story is you get a guy with really fast hands. The more you're in control, the more you can occupy Wall Street, the more you can see his punches, the better off for you. And we'll stop it there. Guys, thanks for watching A Million Styles Boxing. This has been an unbelievable film study to make. I'm glad I made it. It was a lot of fun for me to watch as a coach. And thank you guys for coming. Check out the website. Control this one. Occupy Wall Street. A Million Styles Boxing. I'm out. Peace. Thank you, Dante's Boxing Nation, for the footage. Peace.
VVS Protect all in my wristwatch. Got it jumping like I'm crisscross. She gon' bring her girl, let them crisscross. Dripping water, I forgot to turn my wrist off. I let go, y'all, let them